Alright, so day two, we're in Route 66, or at Route 66 in Illinois. I just, held up a sign, took a picture. We made a little quick video blog, and Scott and I are going down old Route 66, north of, was it Bloomington and Normal, I believe it was? Because I'm thinking that's where the guy took us through. And, we're right there, thumbs up, and this gentleman pulls in. He's pulling a little camper area. Scott loved it because in the back seat he had pillows and blankets, and Scott's just like, that's the ride. I trained him well. I told him, man, anytime we get in a ride, what are you supposed to do?
Sleep.
Sleep. Even if it's for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, just close those eyes and rest as much as you can. We needed to get and save as much sleep as he could. I'm like, I'll talk. Many times I talked and I was like, trying to listen, and it wasn't rude, it was just sleepiness. I mean, I love talking to every single person. But anyway, we're back on Route 60, we're on old Route 66, and this camper guy who's going camping just a couple miles up the road, we're talking to him. He's like, hey, I can get you, 2 miles. I'm like, yeah, no problem, no problem. Well, then he decided, he loved our thing, loved what we did, I got him on video. He decided to take us all through old Route 66 and show us what old Route 66 was. Would you say a good half hour, 45 minutes?
Yeah.
I mean, he drove us through that, whatever that B word I just said a few minutes ago, Bloomington, and then Normal, and then on the other side of Normal, took us to a truck stop. I remember there was a truck stop, a McDonald's. We'd walk a little way to old Route 66. That's where the lady gave you the pack of gum. We were standing outside. So many things, man. We got so many things given to us. Ed gave us a knife. He just wanted to make sure we were safe. Little small, 3-finger blade, but he said, it may come in handy and stuff, which it did. Scott needed to clean his nails one day really bad, and he was able to use that knife. Then we went back on track. This gentleman drove us all around old Route 66 in Bloomington and Normal, dropped us off, so we ate at McDonald's, uploaded some videos, went to this little old Route 66 area, and was holding up a sign, and this lady went by and she was like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't live here, I live local, blah, blah, blah. And then she had, I think she was opening a piece of gum, because I was joking with her. I said, oh, well, can't get me right, how about a piece of gum? And she said, well, here, I have a whole unopened pack. And she gave us a big pack of I know it was like a jar of gum.
24.
Yeah, it was good, man. I mean, hey, gum is a good thing to have. You want to smell good when you get into a car. So anyhow, we held the sign for maybe 10, 15 minutes later, and that's when we got picked up by Vladimir. Vladimir took us, he actually took us along old Route 66 area. Scott slept in the back, jumped on the freeway. I slept, and I slept through most of Missouri because he got us through Illinois into Missouri, and I woke up, I would say an hour into Missouri. He drove us to Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? All the way through Missouri. Took us to Tulsa, Oklahoma. When we got to Tulsa, Oklahoma, he had to drop us off. I don't know why, but he had to drop us off on the east side, which I didn't realize. This is one of our first learning experiences hitchhiking, man. There's 3 things you need to know. I'll cover them all throughout. But he dropped us off on a bad exit area. Bad side of town, east side of town. When you're hitchhiking, if at all possible, you want to try to get on the other side of the town where you're hitchhiking. If you're going south to north, you want to be on the north side of town. If you're going north to south, you want to be on the south. East to west, east. If you're going east, be on that east side of town. If you're going west, get dropped off on the west side of town. Got dropped off on the east side of town. Second time we ran into cops, correct?
Yes.
Alright. We ran into these 2 cops. First one pulls over, and we're just standing there. And we ran into the cops. These cops were just looking out for our safety. Just don't want to put that out there. Tulsa cops. First one came up was this gentleman. I'd say he's about 25, 26-year-old police officer. Had my IDs out, showed him the IDs, told him what we were doing and everything, and he liked it. He said he was going to look it up stuff. Then another cop came, blah, 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 and they sort of gave us this lecture, Tulsa's a bad area, and we are in the very bad section. He's like, of all the Tulsa you want to be in, right here's where you don't want to be. So we went he said, I don't recommend, it's nighttime now, don't be hitchhiking at night. He said, if somebody talks to you here, they're not your friend, they're not going to be nice, just ignore them, go, he's like, hurry up, go to that truck stop. So he and I went in the truck stop for a little while. I think it started raining too, didn't it?
A little bit.
It started raining, then we went in the truck stop. There was a TV, I remember, in there hanging out. We watched TV for a little bit. Then we went back outside, and sort of like where the cops said, do not go, we kind of just found a little wooded area, hidden area, and laid out a poncho, laid there, and we slept until about 6 in the morning. Nobody bothered us. No issues at all. The next morning we got up, started hitchhiking. No, we did. We started hitchhiking and it was not working. We had to walk alongside the freeway, as a side roads and stuff, and just follow the freeway forever and a day to get on the other side of Tulsa or to find a good exit ramp. So the first thing you need to know about hitchhiking is get on the opposite side of the city where you're going so you don't have to walk through the city. Second thing is access ramp. Okay, the entrance ramp to a freeway, to get onto the freeway, the traffic has to be going slow enough. And I'm talking 15, 20 miles an hour so they don't past you. There has to be room for the car to pull over. So it has to be slow enough that the cars can see you, pull over and stop and get you. And they have to have room to pull over so traffic can keep going. That's not what Tulsa's about. Tulsa was built to make hitchhikers not hitchhike. So we had to walk and walk and walk. And I remember one time we were walking and I looked up and I told Scott, I was like, what happened to the freeway? Like, where's our freeway? And somehow it got off and we stopped at did we stop at a gas station or flag somebody down and ask him about the road? And he's like, yeah, you got to walk about a mile down this road. And it was way more than a while, wasn't it not? Yeah. And we had to zigzag and finally, to get out of Tulsa. When we were getting out of Tulsa, I believe, I can't remember who got us there out of it. But anyways, we got out of Tulsa. Then the next major cities, let me see. I believe we were holding a sign at that point that said Oklahoma City. Somebody told us to make a sign that said Oklahoma City, correct? Yeah. We got a ride. It was, I know who it was. It was we remember we walked up to this, in Tulsa we were in this area where it was a nice four-way stop area. There was a little plaza back here, hotels, but it seemed like it was out spread a little ways. We walked up to that Hardee's or something, and we ate and made a sign and came down there, and that's when the nurse that was working in Oklahoma City, her boyfriend or whatever, picked us up, correct? All right, so we got out of Tulsa by, this guy picked us up. He was a old truck driver, used to drive truck, and he was taking his fiancée, wife, something, to Oklahoma City from Tulsa. She works there because she gets paid more money. And they dropped us off. Another learning possibility we learned is on the east side of Oklahoma City. And we needed to get to the 40 at this point, and then we were far away. Scott and I tried hitchhiking and hitchhiking. It got dark. We ended up making a sign, talking to people. Gas stations were hard, and the truck stop was hard because one of the truck stops we were at, I don't remember, was it something about motivational or something? There were these guys walking around talking to every single car, and they had black shirts with the words motivational or something written on them. And nobody wanted to talk to us, crazy white boys, after they got talked to about joining some kind of religious or motivational thing. And I mean, I wasn't just talking one or two. There was probably 4 or 5 of them. And when they could get somebody to listen, they would all scurry on them and do crazy stuff and talk and they had selling DVDs and all that other stuff. Anyhow, this is where we got picked up by the dad and daughter, correct? Yes. Because I had to go inside to pay them $5 to take me to the 40, and I had to get change, so I went inside, and that's when I bought us the bananas. Then when they were dad and daughter, but they were awfully close for dad and daughter, so that's all I'm going to say about that. They ended up dropping us off on the freeway on the highway, all right? Just right on the freeway, stop, get out. So Scott and I had to walk along the 40, and I told him, strictly, do not hitchhike. At no given time are you allowed to put up your thumb when we're on this freeway. I mean, it was an expressway, 70 miles an hour, cars going. And we would go and we'd stand and there'd be an exit ramp of just say the 240 coming in and the 340 and all this other stuff coming in and emerging. And we'd run, stop, run, stop, making it across. And then we got on the other side of the freeway, they had the dividers, and he and I just walked along the freeway. And we'd walk down ravines and we'd walk through railroad things, and we'd walk up ravines, and we'd walk down. And then we came to a bridge. I honestly did not even think about this until days ago, but the cars thought going by. But we got on this bridge that was over railroad tracks, and there was a canal or a river or something there. And I was like, Scott, we can either walk down the ravine again, walk all the way up and down and back. I said it's about 3 miles out of our way to find a bridge or something to cross that. Or we can hold on to this fence, go along the freeway on the outside. There was probably about this much, this is 12 inches, of room of a little sidewalk thing going along the side. He was like, I don't want to walk. I don't want to walk. Let's just walk over. So Scott went first, and we were walking. Well, as you got to, would you say about the halfway part? Maybe like halfway. All of a sudden, it went down to one shoe length. This little sidewalk thing went one shoe length. And no, I was in the lead at that point.
You were in the lead.
I was in the lead. And I told Scott, I was like, do you want to go back? Or do you want to keep going? You know, let's keep going. So I had to hold on to the fence, go around Scott so he could start stepping forward. And then we made it over this bridge. We got some great videos though when we were on this, but we made it all the way over the bridge. And I just sort of like held on to one hand to him, helped him to the thing, and held on to the fence. And we just went along the fence the whole way and made it. I think we got off the fence, ran up a freeway, and then found our exit ramp where it would be the next day, and went and slept, correct? Is that what we
slept next to railroad tracks and a fence behind a couple tree bushes.
Yep. And, you know, every night we'd, you know, spray off with off, we'd lay a poncho, use the poncho to cover us. The next morning, that exit ramp, it wasn't good. So we decided, you know, let's walk through Tulsa, we'd get something to eat, blah, blah, blah. So we walked, and is that where you found the arcades?
Yeah, the arcades were there. With all the pinball machines and pool tables and furniture.
Yep. That's where we met the cowboy also, I believe, correct? Was it in Tulsa? Yep. Or no, Oklahoma. We were in Oklahoma City, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Oklahoma City. Sorry. That's where we met the cowboy at a McDonald's, and this guy had the stirrups, everything on it. Found this really neat store with the pinball machine Scott played. I mean, they had everything, like this Zoltar machine. They had, it seemed like a 20-person hot tub. They had massage chairs. They had video game chairs. They had massage chairs that I thought were video game chairs. Just everything. And they had free games, and we talked to the guy, got him on YouTube and everything. And then when we got to Oklahoma, the truck stop on the other side of Oklahoma City, we ran into two hitchhikers that were sitting outside the truck stop. Their names were Psycho and Taz. And Psycho and Taz had two dogs. Psycho had tattoos all over him, you know, he looked psycho. And Taz had tattoos all over her, and she was like, Tasmanian Devil, you know, blah, blah, blah. And they have two dogs, don't remember their names, they may have said it on the video. And they're traveling with like 4 pieces of luggage, pillows, blankets, dog dishes, waters, etc. And I'm like, wow, you know, how long have you been here? They're like, 5 days, and if we don't get picked up today, we're walking out. And I was thinking, wow, 5 days. So Scott and I went into McDonald's, we ate, came out, had a little run-in with this lady asking for a piece of cardboard. Gentleman was going to get it for me, and then all of a sudden the manager decided that she wasn't going to give it to me after like 3 minutes. I'm like, I explained this, you know, I waited. I said, there's a guy who was getting me a piece of cardboard, you know, to make a sign. And she's like, I ain't letting me give you a cardboard, blah, blah, blah. I said, you know, all right, thank you. I said, I was just going to go across the street and stand at the exit ramp. I wasn't going to bother anybody in your parking lot, blah, blah, blah. And she threw a little scene. Well, went outside, and I was getting ready to tell Psycho and Taz, like, hey, you know, good luck, we're just walking without a sign. When this old lady, older lady, came out with a walker, and she was like, what was all that about? And I told her, and she's like, get in my car. She's like, I'm going this way, such and such, I'll get you some ways. And her name was Mo, and she just came from Kalamazoo showing off dogs. Her dog won Best in Show, and, you know, that's how we got out of Oklahoma City. So I can start this again.